last marquee event of the weekend. Shakur Stevenson fighting for a vacant belt against Joet Gonzalez. Also on the card, Joshua Greer Jr. versus Antonio Nieves. A little fun fight right there. And Michaela Mayer also on the card against Alejandra Zamora. Albert Bell on the card. Andy Vences. And that's about it for notable names on the card. But let's talk obviously about the main event itself. Joet Gonzalez is a fun fighter. Definitely a guy that's going to give, I think, Shakur maybe some issues, at least in the early half of the fight. But I think Shakur should take over in the second half of the fight. I think he is just a far better boxer. I think his ability to negate pressure, offense is some of the best out of any sort of prospect, or as he's about to be a champion right now in a weird situation. But it's one of those fights where even though Gonzalez is a really decent fighter, he is not known in any way in this division. He has not really been built up properly at all. So even if Shakur, let's say, struggles in this fight, which is acceptable, people might give him a lot of crap for it because they don't know who Joet Gonzalez is, which I don't blame him because I barely know who he is, and I make money off of covering boxing. So it's a weird case here where it's a fighter like Shakur who should be getting more hype but really isn't, fighting for a world championship that's not getting any attention against a guy that has no attention. It's a big recipe for disaster in terms of just awareness for this fight. And again, it's competing with a Showtime card, directly competing with it. Obviously, there's the Progress Taylor card, which is earlier in the day, but that won't line up in a direct competition with it. But Showtime will. And I wouldn't be surprised if Showtime does eat up a giant percentage of boxing viewership on Saturday night because it's been promoted better than Shakur's upcoming fight, which is sad in a way. Guys, thoughts about Shakur Stevenson versus Joet Gonzalez, the level of attention on this fight and this card. Gary.
I think it's close for the first half of the fight, and then Shakur Stevenson makes some adjustments and outboxes him. Joet Gonzalez, and he's local to you too. He's an LA guy, isn't he?
He's good, yeah.
I think Shakur Stevenson pulls it out, but I think it's 8-4, 9-3. I think it's not totally one-sided, but I think it's one-sided in the second half of the fight where Stevenson adjusts and wins 5 or all of the last 6 rounds. Joet Gonzalez is a really good fighter. He has some decent wins. He's still young. I think he will, if he stays at 126, at some point in his career, he will be a world titleist at 126. Like, Gonzalez is a good fighter. This is not going to be an easy fight. Like, just like I don't think Gallimore is going to be an easy fight for Lubin, this is not going to be an easy fight for Gonzalez. And if people hate on Shakur Stevenson because he had a tough fight, then they just don't know anything about Gonzalez.
Do you think this fight has the proper amount of attention on it for Shakur's first title fight on ESPN? ESPN Plus, technically.
Absolutely not, right? Because Shakur Stevenson, you would think, is going to either have a really, really long title range or be a multi-division world champion. So he's fighting in Reno. He's not even fighting in Vegas. He's fighting in Reno. And I haven't seen one commercial on... And I haven't seen one commercial for this fight. Like, you forgot that it was on the other day, right? And Shakur's your guy. I mean, no, it's certainly not gotten the right amount of attention. They should have put it on a Friday. They should have put it in Vegas or in Newark. And this should be a big deal because Shakur Stevenson is their future guy. Like, he should carry the torch for Bud and Loma. Like, this is their guy. I don't understand why they're ignoring it.
Rob, is this fight on BT?
I honestly don't know. Let me check.
Because this might be one of those cards that just doesn't get UK rights. I could see that happening.
Yeah, probably. I can't. It's not even on the BoxRec schedule.
Who thought it was a good idea?
No, it is. It is. It is on the BoxRec schedule.
I see it now.
It's hiding.
No, look, this is different to when I was on it a minute ago. Because when I went on to find it so I could look at the card, guess what I found? Also, this week, Walter Katindakwa is fighting for the WBO International.
Walter. First, we have the sequel to Breaking Bad in El Camino, and now Walter White's coming back. Oh my god, man! I'm so excited.
On a card in Kazakhstan against Kanat Islam.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. But yeah, Walter, if he can bag himself the WBO international middleweight title, we could get the Andre rematch happening and pop in.
No, that's not. No. Remix that shit. Nope, not happening.
I don't know. It was a good fight. um,
Anyways, Rob,
Yes.
thoughts on this card? Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, I expect Stevenson to come through, but I don't think he's going to have it all his own way. I think it could be a tough fight. Look, Joet Gonzalez has got nearly double the amount of fights. Still got his O, but obviously Shakur is a standout. And yeah, I can't fathom. I've barely seen any. You know, I'm across everything on Twitter. I haven't seen anything really on Twitter about this. Only like some hardcores talking about it. Not Top Rank or or anyone like that.
Well, remember what it was the last show we did? Remember when Gary was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, there's the biggest U.S. prospect, Matt's favorite prospect, fighting this weekend for his first world title." No one remembers, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is he talking about, man?"
Wait, this weekend? What?
I'm like, is he talking about Joe Cardina? Like, well, I'm confused. Like, what? No, it was Shakur
You're like,
Stevenson
oh,
on main eventing ESPN Plus, fighting for a world title that Oscar Valdez vacated. I wonder if this was Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson, would it be something else? Like, would Top Rank care more? I don't know. It seems odd to me. It seems like a huge misstep.
What do you mean? Would they care more? I don't understand. It's their card. They should care about every card.
No. I know. I agree with that sentiment, but it's clear like there's not a real push behind this card, right? I mean, I know you're in the UK, so maybe it's not the same, but you follow everything on social media.
Social media wise, it's fucking
dead zone.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. And
it's
quickly,
on ESPN.
shout out to Foogatti, our other host, on the super chat. Thank you for giving us your hard-earned money.
Yes, it's Foogatti is, he's not on the shows, but he funds it.
He's the benefactor.
Yeah.
Digressing, I'm really curious what the next step is with Shakur, because it does seem like they planned for something that was better than this, and it fell apart. Whether it was Josh Warrington, whether it was Oscar Valdez, it seemed like they wanted something else, and they got Joet Gonzalez, and it's like, oh, let's just have this card and get over with it. That's what it seems like to me, to be quite honest. Moving on, though, Joshua Greer is on the card, and Michaela Mayer. Any thoughts on those two standout fighters, guys? No?
Yeah, I want to see Mayer.
Well, Michaela Mayer is fighting some.
Carry on, man.
Ooh. Oh, no, Gary froze up. Oh, there he is. Gary's back.
No.
You froze
I'm
up.
good.
You froze up.
Yeah. Did I freeze up?
You did.
Oh.
I don't know. You were sorry.
Okay.
But you, yeah.
You looked very angry, but no, you were just frozen.
Michaela Mayer is fighting someone I've never heard of.
Of course.
Okay. Josh Greer is fighting Nieves. Nieves is a good opponent. I want to see Josh Greer knock him out, right? Because Josh Greer has, in his last fight when he fought whatever his name was relying Potapov, whatever, was relying way too much on his power and was just looking for one shot. The kid's got tremendous skill and tremendous speed. I want to see him. And Nieves is good. Nieves gave Inoue rounds when no one else has, right? And Nieves has some decent wins. He's a good test. I want to see Greer look like that superstar prospect that he is. I want to see him get the stoppage here. Because he had a mediocre performance in his last fight where he had to rally, kind of, because he'd given away rounds looking for knockout in the first 3-4 rounds of the fight. So I want to see a really top-notch performance out of Greer.
Agreed. Moving on, sort of to wrap up the weekend. Like Gary said, there's a UFC Fight Pass boxing card on Friday. Excuse me. Was it Friday?
Yeah,
no,
it's Friday.
No, it's not. Thursday.
Yes,
No, there's multiple ones. Sorry. There's one on Thursday, and I think that is the return of Lou DiBella after Patrick Day's passing as the first card. So expect a big tribute to Patrick Day on that card. Melissa St. Ville's on that card. She's a huge prospect out of women's boxing. That that's about it for the notable name. Also on Thursday on ringtv.com, the return of Elwin Soto. Elwin Soto, who those forget, just beat Angel Tito Acosta, who was moving up. And also on this card, fighting Raymond Taburgen in the flyweight division now. Also, there's a lot of fights this weekend, guys. DAZN on Friday in Milan, Italy. I know Gary's interested now. Pantera's fighting on the card against Domenico Valentino, and that's about it in terms of fighters that I recognize. Telemundo on Friday, there's a card. Don't know anyone on it. There's also, like Gary said, a card on Friday on UFC Fight Pass in Reno, Nevada. Kendo
Castaneda. I'm going to that card in Reno.
And other people are on that card. Pound for pound potential, or maybe arguably, depends on your definition. But Winhang Menathan is fighting this weekend as well on Friday. No televised portion of it, but if you guys want to see Winhang Menathan fight, he's fighting this weekend.
Disgusting. TBE, and he ain't got no one on TV.
And didn't he just sign with
Golden Boy?
That's right. Why is it not on fucking DAZN? Digressing.
Facebook? Is it on the Golden Boy Facebook?
No, as far as I see, there's no rights to it anywhere. That's it for the weekend, guys, for all the fights. Oh, there's also a Facebook Live card on Friday. Not Friday, sorry. Sunday in Hollywood, California. Serhii Boychik versus Tyrone Brunson. And I don't know anyone else on the card. But yeah, a lot of fights this weekend, guys. If you're trying to watch them all, good luck.
Shout out to DAZN for just linking up with Golden Boy just to get Canelo. We don't want any more of your stuff. Just give us Canelo.